Another update from IRCC that we have been anticipating for a very, very long time, and that is regarding the changes in the LMI program. Now, I know this announcement was made yesterday and I'm late to make the video, but we're not in a rat race here, right? We wanted to make sure that we have all the information correct, and we only give out information that applies to us in this current scenario and not unnecessarily create panic. So I'm not surprised by the changes that have been announced because they've been talking about it. We know that the LMI system, the Temporary Foreign Worker Program, is extensively abused at this time, and it has also been overly used. Abuse is one thing, but then it is also being used quite a bit, because of which we see an exorbitant amount of delay in the processing of these applications, where it's taking almost like 6 months to get a PR support or a dual intent LMI approval. So it is taking significant amount of time, and these applications used to get processed in under a month or sometimes 2 months, at max 3 months, 4 months. 6 months has been the longest it has ever taken to get these applications processed, which I feel is unfair as well to people who are submitting those applications. Imagine having to wait as a business owner for 6 months to get an LMI approved and then bring in a temporary foreign worker from outside, or even have them apply for a work permit. It's insane. But coming to the announcements, so there have been some changes that have been made to the program. Now, these changes are not out of the world changes. These policies were in place before COVID. We always had a refusal to process, for areas that had more than 6% employment rate or higher. We had the 10% program, like total workforce criteria under the low wage stream. The only thing that we are seeing right now is for the employment duration. But I think at some point, and I can't remember from the top of my head just now, at some point the work permits used to be issued only for 1 year for some occupations. But then during COVID, because of processing delays and because of, the government's need to hire people in Canada, it was extended to 2 years for low wage and 3 years for high wage. But these policies were there back in the day, and people still used to apply for work permits and LMIs through this program. So now I know a lot of people are calling and they're panicking and they're worrying of what's going to happen. So let me set some of these, set the record straight for you guys. First off, this is going to come in effect in September. So as of today, the applications that have already been submitted are not impacted. Number two, this is only for low wage stream applications. So there are several kinds of LMI applications. The most commonly used ones that matter to majority of the international students and temporary foreign workers in Canada are low wage LMIs, high wage LMIs, and then permanent residence LMIs. Low wage LMIs are the LMIs where the median wage of the position is lower than the provincial median wage. High wages when the wage is higher than the provincial median wage. And then permanent residence is just a different category where you can also only get 50 points. You don't need to apply for a work permit. These applications, the low wage and high wage applications, get processed by a different team, and PR applications get processed by a different team. These changes are only being implemented under the low wage stream, and there is no changes to high wage stream or the PR category LMIs as of yet. Now, the government has also announced that they will review this for 90 days. So basically, they're going to see in the next 90 days how many more LMIs are being submitted. So they're reviewing this. And in 90 days or after 90 days of review, they're going to decide if they're going to implement these changes in the high wage stream, and if they are going to implement these changes in other categories, and particularly if they are going to include existing applications as well for which the positions have not been filled. Now, when I say positions have not been filled, I mean that an LMI has been issued, but there was no name associated to that LMI, which means in common language that people use is pre-approved LMIs. So in 90 days, they might reconsider, bringing some changes in those applications or LMIs or program as well. But as of right now, it is only and only for low wage LMI. And as far as I know, a lot of international students who are right now applying for LMIs are primarily applying under the permanent resident stream only for the 50 points, or at max a dual intent, which also goes under the PR stream. So I think you guys are okay for now. But of course, anything is possible with this government. They desperately need the votes for next year. So this is just, it seems like they're desperate to probably come back next year, but it doesn't seem likely with what has happened in this country in the last couple years. So yeah, I hope that brings some relief to you guys. Don't worry, these changes, these policies were always there, so it's nothing that they've done insanely different. But I wish you all good luck, and I hope that you all get to live your Canadian dream.